My friends, welcome back. Today we're just doing a couple reloading chores here around the room. I never got around to going through our spoils from our last range trip, so we're gonna sort through some brass and see what we got. I've been working on some brass prep here. We're just trimming some 357 Magnum here. Taking a break from that because it hurts my fingers. Anyways, wasn't able to get out to the range this week, so not a problem. We have plenty of things we can work on around here. Brass prep, sizing, bullets, all this fun stuff. So why not knock some of that out while we can? So anyways, I'll just get on with sorting this brass we picked up last week. This is a bunch of 7.62 by 39. I know it's Berdan primed and I don't actually shoot anything Chamberlain 7.62 by 39, but I know that you can convert these primer pockets to accept a boxer primer. So maybe someday along the line, a couple apocalypses from now, I'll be set. You know, in case the Ruskies invade, I can reload some of that, maybe? Anyways, I was really going for this 308 we found here. Might be a whole box of 20 worth of Federal head stamps. So that's pretty sweet. And then I just happened to see this laying around, so, you know, can't pass that up. Anyways, let me get all this sorted out real quick and we'll get on with it. Okay, cool. So we got it all sorted out here. Got a few pieces of 223. I can use those. We got one piece of 40 Smith & Wesson. I'll just throw that into my bucket of 40 Smith & Wesson that I'm never going to use. Got a couple pieces of 380, some 9mm, and only 19 pieces of the FC head stamps for the 308. So I missed one out of the whole box, but anyways, that's cool. I'll get those sized and trimmed up and sorted out with their friends there. And probably 100 or so of those from old surplus 7.62 by 39. As far as I know, it's brass case. They're just Berdan primed. So I'm gonna have to, you know, throw those into the bucket of stuff I'll never use as well and have it for a rainy day if the time ever comes. All right, and along with the brass from our last trip, here's about 19 pounds of range scrap lead. Pretty cool stuff. I usually just pick it up by hand so there's not many rocks or, you know, chunks of dirt or anything like that in there taking up weight. So I'll probably get 70 to 80% back in weight as far as the lead goes coming out of here. And then I'll save those as jackets and send those to the recycler or the scrap yard for a couple extra dollars as well. And the range I'm now a member of also has lots of trap and skeet and all that fun stuff going on lots of the time. So I went over and took a look, see what I could find over there, and holy crap, there's literally drums and barrels full of shot shells, or holes rather. Mostly 12 gauge, a couple of 20s in here. I don't actually own a 12 gauge, but I do have a single shot 20 gauge, so whenever I end up getting into reloading shot shells, I'll be able to start off with these and that'll get me going. As far as the 12 gauge stuff, I'll either figure out a way to trade that off for something I can actually use, or more than likely at some point I'll end up with a 12 gauge. If any of you guys have a good video or a resource about the differences in the holes as far as what you can reload with them and all that fun stuff, let me know, because it's something I have little to zero knowledge about, so it could be fun to venture into that at some point. And back here in this corner, we just have some brass drying on a towel with the fan hitting it. This came out of the wet tumbler not too long ago, and it actually came from the purple Winchester cases, if you've ever seen that. This is what they look like after a couple hours of wet tumbling, but since that finish has come off, they're basically just nickel plated. So I'm going to eventually clean these up or turn them into 300 blackout brass, just to have another set of things to play around with. And this is what that nasty crap looks like, basically coming out of the dirt. The purple finish basically turns into this disgusting white powdery stuff. That needs cleaned off, so into the tumbler it goes. And here's the tumbler set up in the garage. I just have it on a shelf, but we got the pins going. Anyways, that's enough of the wet tumbling. I'm also cleaning up around the bench here, organizing some of my shelving and dies and cleaning up stuff like that. I've also been resizing and sorting this 45 ACP brass between large and small pockets. I don't actually shoot any 45 yet, but when I get around to it, we'll have plenty of brass to pick from, whether it be large or small, and we'll be good to go, depending on what's available to us at that time. And you can see the patented RCBS primer reflective shield here. Different dies finally sorted out, bullet sizing dies, and my next sizing project I need to get to. You saw I was running the miniature f.a.r.t downstairs to clean my brass. It only holds about 200 or 300 pieces of 223 at a time, so it does take a while, but it sure does work pretty well with those stainless steel pins. And inside the box, this is where I'm storing my molds at this time. I've got them all back in their 2-cavity boxes, and their boxes here with handles if they have some. I've got a box full of spare parts and an extra set of handles as well. And over on this shelf, 22 caliber projectiles, some 223 brass ready to go, 308 brass ready to go, 308 projectiles, projectiles for the blackout, cast projectiles ready to go. Moving down, we have our 9mm sorted out and ready to load. We've got our nickel separated from our yellow brass, some size projectiles ready to go, so on and so forth. About halfway through, we get into our 358. Here's some 38 special brass, different projectiles, more sized projectiles all stacked up and sized and sorted. Some brass that I need to get around to loading. And finally down here we have our 45 caliber projectiles and brass. 45 long Colt, or 54 Casole. We got some Bushmaster brass back there. I'm sorting and sizing the 45 ACP over there. We've got our tool heads for the Dillon, some empty MTM boxes that will get filled soon, and of course lots of tape for labeling. Down below we have some other brass being stored in different stages. We have the scrap brass bin. Someday I'll eventually have a kiln to melt that into a gigantic brass bar or something and make some molds or something cool with that stuff. And here we have some 9mm I'm trying to sort through. And we're back here at the little portable work table, but at the top, like I said, I was working on this 357 brass as well. So that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for what I've been doing this weekend. What kind of reloading projects have you guys been working on, huh? You're just loading, you brass prepping, you've been casting, what you up to, huh? Didn't make it to the range, so I figured I'd bring you guys along for the projects from this weekend. Anyways, if you enjoy this sort of content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. You can also support the channel over on patreon.com/dummyround. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.